If you're looking for a reasonably priced, easy-to-use dual-channel mic, stick around as we take a look at an offering from Pixel. If you've looked at some of my other microphone reviews here on the Gadget Talk channel, you already know that good audio is one of the key factors for a good video. If not, you've probably figured that out yourself when you find that you click off videos only after a few seconds because the sound quality is so bad. If dialogue or the spoken word is important to your video, then having a mic close to the speaker's mouth is critical. If you don't travel with a sound crew, that likely means some kind of lavalier mic. You can accomplish this in a couple of ways. First, you can wire a lav mic to an audio recorder or smartphone and record your audio there and merge it in the video in post-production. Using a separate audio recorder like that is how movies are made. The other way is to obtain your audio from a lav mic that is a wireless mic. The wireless mic allows you to get a lav close to the speaker while giving the speaker or camera person freedom to move around. You have the choice to record to your camera or to a dedicated audio recorder. As we jump into this review, please consider subscribing to the Gadget Talk channel. On this channel, we look at all kinds of audio and video accessories, some radio stuff, and a variety of things I find cool and interesting. With that out of the way, let's get started. The WM10 from Pixel is unique in that it allows you to have two wireless transmitters connect to one receiver. That way you can have two speakers carry on a conversation, such as in an interview setting, or wire up a bride and groom to make sure you clearly capture the vows at the wedding. The WM10 receiver and transmitters are enclosed in a metal case, and the external 3.5mm connections are the screw type, which makes for a good connection and good connection security. The WM10 uses the UHF frequency band and comes with 100 channels, allowing for little to no opportunity for frequency interference. There aren't a bunch of settings or options to set, which makes setup pretty easy. Simply choose a channel, set both transmitters and the receiver to that channel, and you're pretty much ready to go. The receiver has two additional settings to give you some control over the recording. The receiver output to the recording device can be controlled, as can the volume to the receiver's separate headphone jack. You can engage or disengage a low-cut filter on the transmitters to help deal with low-frequency background noise. That control is a slide switch on the side of the case. Let's take a look at what you get, how it works, and most importantly, how it sounds. So when you get the Pixel wireless microphone out of the retail sleeve, you find that it comes in this hard box with aluminum edging, and it's a really nice little case to keep your wireless microphones safe while you've got them in your kit bag or traveling around and so forth. So let's take a peek at what's inside. So inside then, we've got a couple of things. We've got a box full of accessories that includes the microphone, the antenna for the receiver. We've got the two transmitters here, and we've got this connector to connect to the back of the transmitter, and then it's got a hot shoe style mount that you could mount this then on your camera. So let's take a look at the three pieces here and get a little bit closer look at them. Okay, so here are the accessories that come in the little black box that you saw a moment ago in the case. So we have the two microphones. Notice that they have screw type connectors, so you can get them down onto the case securely. They're not going to come out. And then each mic also comes with a second alligator clip right here, a second foam wind muff for the mic capsule itself, And then they each come with these little black furry wind covers to keep the wind noise down if you're outside on a windy day. Here are the two antennae for the receiver. And here's an adapter for a microphone in case you happen to have an XLR type microphone. You plug those 3 plug holes there, and then you can plug it into your transmitter. Here is the connector from the transmitter to the camera, and then this is an adapter taking the TRRS on this end from your audio output from the receiver and converting it to a TRRS on this side if you're plugging it into a smartphone or other device that requires a TRRS input. So that's the stuff that came in the box. So this is a quick look at the WM10 receiver. You can see it's got a couple of antennas. Those antennas will bend so that they'll get a good orientation to your transmitters. Again, on the top, there are 2 connections. This one is for headphones. It's a 3.5 millimeter plug for a set of headphones for you to monitor what is coming out of the transmitter. On this side is the output. That would be the wire that goes from the transmitter here to your recording device, whether it's the camera or whether it's a digital audio recorder. So those are the 2 outputs here. On the front, we've got some control buttons that we'll look at a little more closely when we get this thing powered on. On the side, we've got the battery tray that comes out. It's pretty handy. It uses a couple of AA batteries. And then this switch here will give you the output, or whether or not you're mixing the signals, or whether it's kind of a stereo with one input on each channel leaving. So we'll talk more about that and show you what that looks like here in just a couple of minutes. On the back is a metal clip. You could put it on your belt, although with this being the receiver, it's not too likely that's what you're going to be doing, but it's certainly there. And as we just saw when we looked at this stuff in the box, that little mounting bracket that would connect to your camera or recording device, if it had a hot shoe adapter, it would clip in here. And so it would give you a nice firm attachment. You can slide it in here under the belt clip. So that's what the receiver looks like. Let's take a look at one of the 2 transmitters. Okay, so this is one of the transmitters from the WM10 set, and it's got kind of the same control buttons that the receiver did, being able to set and turn the thing on and off, and then make choices with plus and minus buttons. Again, we'll look at that more closely when we get it powered on. On the top, you see that this is labeled as channel A, so this is the A transmitter. It's got a small antenna. Unlike the receiver, they don't come off. They're built into the transmitters. And then this is the microphone attachment point. And again, you can see that the microphone connector screws on, so it'll remain secure while you're moving around. It has a belt clip on the back, as did the receiver. It's got a USB micro port over here, which means that you can power this using a battery bank, like a cell phone charger battery block. So with another wire and a battery block, you could probably record all day with one of these, as opposed to using the built-in batteries, which are on the other side right here. And you can see that you just kind of squeeze them. And again, like with the receiver, they just slide out in a little tray. So that's pretty handy. And then on this side, there's also a low cut switch, which would cut out the lower frequencies electronically that the mic picks up. So think of it as a high pass filter or a low cut filter, and you can turn that either on or off depending upon what your ambient sound is and the effect that you want. And so the other transmitter is just like this one, except it says B on the top. So let's put some batteries in these and take a little look at what the menus look like. Okay, so right now we've got the batteries in. I used the little tray here, And I've got the switch over here set to ST. I think of that as stereo. They call it independent, dual independent in the instructions, but basically it gives you a left and a right, or the A and the B channel, which allows you to do post-processing editing on each channel individually. If you have it in the mix, the output is going to be with both channels mixed together, and that would be very difficult to make an edit to the sound of one of the channels if it got too loud, or if there was some background noise that you wanted to try to edit out. So that's the impact of that switch right there. So we've got the batteries in, as I said, so we'll turn it on. Okay, so with this display then, let's take a look at it real quick. You can see I've got fresh batteries. I'm on channel 3. I have one of the transmitters on, and so you can see up in this corner perhaps there's a little antenna, and the letter A is illuminated, that I have channel A on. This one in the middle says the phones are on 5, which is the independent audio volume for the headphones, should I have headphones plugged into this. And then over here you've got basically a VU meter kind of thing showing the sound input coming from the microphone on the transmitter that I've got sitting just out of the frame. So we're going to look at that here in just a minute. But those are the main displays. Now, if we want to make some changes, there's really not much that we can change, which makes these very easy to use. So we'll press the set button, and you can see the phone is flashing, which means that I can change the volume of the headphones independently. If I press the phone button or the set button again, locks in, hold it for a second, and then now I clicked it twice, I moved to the output level. So I've got the output level on 6. If I was monitoring that through my recording device, I could make changes to the output level to make sure that I'm not over boosting the recording device. So whether it's a digital audio recorder or my camera. And then again, I get it, hold it, get it into set mode, output level, and then the third thing I can change is the channel. And so I've got channel 3 selected, and I've got channel 3 selected in my transmitter. And so that's pretty much it. Makes it pretty easy to control this transmitting device. Okay, so battery, phone, channel, VU, and which transmitters are connected to the receiver. In this case, only one, channel A. So let's take a look at the controls on the transmitter. So here I've got the controls on the transmitter. I've got the microphone plugged in, so I could see that I was getting sound there on the on the receiver side of things. The setting works the same, but here we really don't have much to control. And so on the display, I've got the battery, full battery. I've got the channel, the frequency that channel represents. So it's this is UHF, so it's 538.125. And then you can see up in the corner that little black square shows that I have the low cut filter on. So if I press set, it gives me the opportunity to change the channel. Channel 3, channel 4, channel 2. I'm going to go back to 3, press set again, and it comes off. And that's it. That's what I'm setting on the transmitter. So that, again, it's very easy to use. I just have to match the transmitter to the channel on the receiver so that they can talk together. And so that's pretty much all we've got there. Again, the switch for the low cut filter, and set, plus, minus, and power. Microphone screws in on the top, so it's nice and secure. So that's what we've got here. Let's take a look at some sound recording from this next and get a chance to see what it sounds like and to see what that ST and mix switch are all about. Okay, so in this example, we're using my Tascam DR05 digital recorder, and we've got the receiver set to the ST, the dual independent mode, or again, think of it as stereo mode with the left and right channel being recorded into the audio recorder. Now in this case, I'm going to drop my right-hand channel away, and if you watch the screen capture, you should be able to see that the audio from the right-hand channel goes way down. So here now I have the left-hand channel is, near my mouth where you'd clip a lapel, and I've got the other microphone down behind my back. Now in this case, I've just switched hands, and I've got the right-hand channel microphone near where you would put a lapel mic, and the other microphone I've got down behind my back. So you can see that you've got the left and right channel, and when they're together like that, you'll be able to edit them in case there's something that went on, if you need to separate the timing due to talking over one another and that kind of thing. So that is the ST, dual independent or stereo mode. Okay, in this sound demonstration, again, look at the screen capture of the audio waveforms on the computer screen there in front of you. And you can see that when I move the microphones away from my mouth, first the right and then the left, nothing really changes in that because we're in the mix mode and that it's being recorded into both channels. So now is primarily the left-hand mic is near my mouth, and the right-hand mic is down back behind my back. And now I've switched them. I've got the wireless mic that's for the right channel next to my mouth, and I've got the left-hand channel down behind my back. And I can see on the little VU meter on my Tascam DR05 that both channels are being recorded at the same level, regardless of the number of microphones that are close to my mouth. So that's the mix setting. So here we are outside in the green belt behind my home. We're going to do the range check. Right now I'm about 6 or 8 feet away from the camera and from the receiver. I've got the transmitter on my belt, and so we'll see how all this works. The first stop is going to be about 100 feet. So let me move back to 100 feet and see how we do. I measured out on Google Maps, and this tree right over here is about 100 feet from the camera. So that's the distance we've got, and you get a chance to hear what the audio sounds like. I have the receiver output set at 3, so it's really pretty low. But with some earlier tests higher than that, I could pick up my footsteps and some of the other noise. So we'll be trying it here at a fairly low output and see how we do. Now let's go back to 200 feet. So I'm about 200 feet right now. The area between me and the receiver is clear, although there's obviously some vegetation around. It's a pretty nice morning. So here's the audio sounding from about 200 feet from the receiver. Now back to 300. Now in my first test of this range check, I had the audio output a little too high, but right about here is where I started losing contact with the receiver. So I'm sitting here at about 300 feet, pretty close to 100 meters, and things were starting to get a little fuzzy. So we'll see if with this test anything changes. Right here I'm at 100 yards, just a hair short of 100 meters as advertised for this wireless microphone, so you can hear for yourself what things sound like at the far end of the range. So now let me walk back to the camera, and I'll just chat a little bit, jabber to give you some audio as we close the gap into the camera itself. There's a little bit of breeze, not much today. Earlier in the morning it was pretty windy, and I'd hoped the wind would stay up a little bit so we could test the effectiveness of this little furry wind cover. But the wind's laid back a little bit as the sun has come up. About 150 feet here. Continuing to walk forward. I'm in kind of dry grass or short grass, and so I can hear my footsteps just via my ears. And so it'll be interesting to see how much of my footsteps come in through the microphone, because there certainly is noise. I can hear it as I approach the camera. So we'll see what this all sounds like now that I'm back to this level. So that's the range check. As you've seen, the WM10 set from Pixel is a nice wireless mic system you can use to bring your video's audio up to the next level. With 100 channels to choose from, you're unlikely to have to deal with frequency interference. The metal cases should result in long life, and the handy carrying case should keep everything safe and sound. The included accessories, including the TRS to TRRS adapter, makes it easy to connect to just about any kind of recording device. As you heard in the audio samples, the sound capture is solid, and the mic's tone and sensitivity results in a pleasing audio track. The mics are fairly sensitive, so anticipate using a low setting on the mic's output setting on the receiver. While this set is in the moderate price category, it provides a feature set that will help the enthusiast level content creator to up their game. Hey, if you found this video helpful, please click on the thumbs up button below the video and subscribe to the Gadget Talk channel. Click on the bell icon to be notified when I post new videos. I've got an affiliate link in the description below the video that results in my getting a small commission from Amazon if you decide to get this mic by clicking through the link. Your price doesn't change. Thanks for watching.